let's talk about in general, when you get the 1PL, you're going to get a total of 5 cables. You have 2 cables identical with a flat end like this and a small ball which attaches to this piece up here. Those go in the front. You have 1 more cable with the flat end like that and a small ball which goes to the low row up there. The single cable that goes from weight carriage.
Sorry, can you give me a close up of those? I can't see them very. Like, get right up close with your camera.
Yeah,
that's a flat end, is it? Okay, yeah.
That's attaches to the weight carriage.
Perfect.
And that's where it comes out on the low row.
Yep. Okay.
That cable is the same as the 2 cables that attach to the dual pulleys. However, it's about 2 feet longer. So you're going to start down here.
Okay. Yep.
You run up. Go through the frame, over 2 pulleys. You come down to a floating pulley. Back up over another pulley. Back down to the low row. Second cable in the rear is the shortest of all cables. It has, again, a flat end here, which attaches to the frame. And the other end of it is just cut off, which goes into a piece here with set screws. So that cable starts down at the frame, goes up over your dual pulley, which you just installed when you ran the low row cable, down to a single pulley that just hangs there. Next, you have your 2 cables that attach to the adjustable pulleys. They are going to start in the rear. They attach to a frame back here. They come down through a floating pulley, back up through a pulley that's right up in the frame, travels along inside the frame, comes out over a pulley.
It goes over the top of those 2 bolts halfway along the cover there.
Very critical that it goes over the top of these 2 bolts.
Yeah.
If you go underneath those, that cable will be destroyed. Comes down, goes back behind this piece here, and comes out the front and is secured to the cable crossover adjustable pulley.
Yep.
So that's the identical on the left and right. Those both run the same. So the last pulley you're going to run.
Last cable. Yep.
Or cable you're going to run attaches to the rear of the adjustable pulley.
There seems to be 4 positions there, Bill. That was interesting. What was that?
Yep, there's 5. I put this at the lowest position. There's going to be plenty of room for cable stretch.
Is that what it is? Do you mind giving a close-up up there, just so we can show cable stretch? So over time, if your cable stretches, you just move it gradually higher up.
Yes.
Perfect.
So you start there, you go straight down.
Yep.
Underneath this pulley, through the frame, underneath this pulley, back up over that floating pulley that you installed with the crossovers, back down through this pulley. It's going to follow it to another pulley on the rear frame piece.
You missed that, mate. Can you go back? You were the camera showed the low row. Can we just go back to that rear pulley?
So let me start here. Let me start over again here.
Okay.
So the last cable that you install goes up, attaches to the bottom hole of the adjustable pulley, goes straight down underneath this pulley, through the frame, underneath this pulley, up and over the floating pulley, back under the pulley that's attached to the frame. From there, it runs at a diagonal to the pulley that's attached to the rear piece where the weight carriage is. From there, it goes up over that single floating pulley you installed earlier, over the top, back down through the pulley on the rear frame, runs at about a 45-degree angle to the other frame piece, up and over the floating pulley, down through the frame, under this front pulley, back up and dead ends at this adjustable pulley.
Yep, so that just mirrors the left and right side mirror each other, one big long cable.
Correct.
Can you show the pull-up bar there from the inside? Because you wonder if someone ran that cable underneath that pull-up bar, that would be a real problem.
Yeah, that would be, I would certainly strip the screws or strip the coating off the cable quickly. Because like I said, this bottom pulley down here, it never really moves. Because you adjust this piece down and it just adjusts the pulley there. So if I pull the cable here, again, that floating pulley moves, but nothing moves on the bottom. So those two cables down here never really move.
The two pulleys.
Does that make sense? Bottom. The two pulleys at the bottom, that cable that goes underneath them, they never move.
Why? But when you say move, as in they must turn, right?
Well, yeah, they turn, but there's
fixed.
Nothing that I can think of that you do with this machine that is going to cause those pulleys to rotate, so to speak.
Well, but it looks like both of them have a guide. Like both of them have separate bolts next to them, next to the pulley bolt. That the cable has to go between the pulley and that other bolt, right?
It does. Yes.
Yeah. So if you don't put them between them, you're going to rub and ruin your cable.
Well, you could, but again, whenever I do anything off the front side, Justin, that low cable.
Oh, that looks lower. Yeah, you're right.
That low cable does not move. Everything moves off the top pulleys. It just engages that front pulley, that floating pulley. So I can't honestly think of anything that I would do that would cause this cable here, these pulleys on the bottom. I mean, they're there, but I'm trying to think. Maybe I'll come across it and it'll come to me later. But right now, I can't think of anything that would cause those pulleys to move.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think I know what you mean, because for example, if that cable that ran down the back and did not go between the two bolts, if it went underneath the guide, what you're saying is the cable itself doesn't get pulled.
The only time it moves is when I adjust this piece up and down. Yeah,
so exactly, and you would hear it rubbing if it was ran underneath, and also the cable would be too short. Like there would be pressure on it because like you've ran an extra few centimeters.